Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be setting up my reading journal. I've mentioned in a previous little haul that I did that this is the one that I'll be using for my reading journal. It's a little bit smaller. This one was just under $14 in Canada. And the reason that this is the one that I'm using is because of the Canada Post strike. I can't actually get anything sent to me right now. And I really wanted to get this set up like before Christmas, before I go to the mainland. So this looks like a cute little journal. I just got it from a little local art shop. And this was the only dotted journal they had that was not like a huge A4 type of size. So, excuse the fur. Felix was just up here saying hello. So, yeah, I went with this one. This was the only color option that they had in the shop. What I was hoping for when I went in there that I found was something kind of similar to this kind of vibe. And I got these, which are actually lined journals. But I really wish that they had like these designs that were dotted, and that would have been a really beautiful kind of aesthetic for my dotted reading journal. So anyway, this is what we have wound up with, and I'll just grab. And it's Equa Plus is the Fabriano. I'm not sure which one is the brand, but it looks like Fabriano's the brand. And I was just seeing if there's anything about the paper on here. So it's 24-pound paper, which I don't think is super thick. It doesn't feel super thick. And then it's 90 sheets. So that's kind of the information about it. And I'm really just hoping that it's going to be thick enough where I'm able to, just trying to, these pages are stuck together. So we're off to a great start. Okay, cool. So they just pull apart. It just looks like they're not separated. So the paper, it feels okay. So hopefully we'll be okay with kind of the nothing bleeding through. So when we open this one, it's just a plain cover, which is kind of nice, and it goes straight into the dotted grid, and it is a, it's just a glued kind of pad. So I have a feeling that once I'm able to get a dotted journal that's not this one, I might be moving. But I was thinking this one could be fun for, as I'm looking at this, just like doing bullet journal ideas and be able to kind of pull things out and move them to the journal that I'm wanting to move my inspiration to, and either gluing in the pages or just recreating them. So I'll see how we wind up with this one, but I think we're looking okay. In terms of the decoration, so again, I'm on a little island, and the only option for getting anything sent here, even stuff that originally sends FedEx, is for Canada Post to do the final mile. So I really can't get anything. But I got this from the art store. So it's Bibliophilia Ephemera, and it's literary stickers. So I thought this was really cute. This was $15.99 from the little art shop. So probably less if you were to do like Amazon or something. And it just has some really beautiful stickers. So like this one potentially uses a little banner on a page. It has some of these really pretty kind of bookshelf type things. And so what I'm going to do is really just go through this and see what they kind of have. And I'm just going to do that really quickly and just see kind of if I can get inspiration from this. Like this is a really nice one. I think I'll probably put this one on my 100 page or my 100 book spread. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of throw some tabs in this just so I know which pages I want to come back to. So that one's really cool. So like you're seeing kind of my full planning and everything happening. So I could do my A to Z challenge with this. Or I could do it, of course now I've put so many that I'm going to, so I could do A to Z with this one. I think this one's probably the one I'm going to go with, but this is really beautiful as well. I feel like I might use this one more for the titles because it does have duplicate letters, whereas this just has each letter once. So that's what I'm thinking for this one. And then it's also got the numbers a couple times, so I can see if I want to do anything with those numbers as well. And then the other thing that I was thinking was, in terms of my cover page, just kind of thinking about what do I want. Like I think this is really pretty and this is really pretty potentially for the cover page. And then if I were to write using these letters, reading journal. So let me just see if I have enough. So READING JOUR. So I've got 2 R's, which is good. I've only got 1 N, so I don't have the N for both reading and journal. That's a shame. So I'm 1 letter short of being able to have done that. But also what I have, now that I'm thinking, is I've got a bunch of sticker pages that I got So what I do have is these here, which are kind of more of a craft paper type of style. And then I've also got these, and I've got these. I've got other letters as well, but I'm just trying to think of what would actually go with the vibe I'm going for. And then I've got these ones as well, which are kind of smaller. So I'll see how I can incorporate these ones here. And then this is, I'll put it on the back of one of these. So this is just silver letters, which are really pretty as well. And because, okay, so if we do, I was wondering if there would be small ones too, but there's not. Because what I could do is READ. There's no small I's. I feel like these ones would be better like within the planner, not as the main page. I also wonder if I could do like READING JOUR. I have 2 N's and I have an L. So I think I could potentially do them like in the big letters here. Because I just think these ones are so much prettier. So I think I might go with these ones. You know, it's really annoying. This is going to come apart super easy. So as I was going through and doing that, as you saw, it kind of fell apart on me. So I'm not going to use that as my journal. I'm just, because if I use that, I'm going to have to redo everything. So what I'm going to do, which isn't what I originally planned, but I think I'm going to use this really beautiful line journal. And I'm going to see what I can do in terms of using this. It's definitely not what I wanted to do, but it's also, I'm just going to see if I can kind of make do. This has really beautiful gold pages. It's definitely the aesthetic I wanted. So I'm going to instead go through and create my spread in here. So this is where I'm going to do my reading journal for the year. So I am just going for kind of progress over perfection, and unfortunately this looks like the direction that I need to go. And I'm also thinking, like, as I'm getting more into doing like these journals again, I did them years ago, but I've moved and I've lost all my supplies, so I'm planning on like ordering a bunch of papers and stuff for journaling, and so I think I'll be able to like decorate the pages behind, and I'll just do what I need to later in the year. So I'm going to just start laying these stickers in. And you know what I'm realizing is each of these letters, one is like a capital. So let me see if I can get this one off. So we have J-O-U-R-N. We're gonna have one N. That's so strange that they gave 2 of every letter except for these 3. So I do have my J. So for these pages, I am just adding in my title for my A to Z challenge. And this will be a 2-page spread. And essentially it's just going to have all of the letters of the alphabet. And then as I read a book starting with where the title starts with each letter, then I'll be able to fill this in throughout the year. And the goal is by the end of the year to have 1 book within each of the letter. And the goal is just really to diversify my reading a little bit and kind of prompt me to look for new books. So as I was putting these letters down, I was thinking I might be able to fit the numbers on the same spread, but I decided to move those to another page. So usually the alphabet challenge is really just the letters of the alphabet. And I wanted to also include the numbers just for a little added challenge and just to see if I can get some books that start with the numbers 1 through 0. And so same thing, as I read them, I'll add them in as in like the title and the author. And then this next page here, I want to try to read 100 books this year. And when I'm saying reading, I mean including audiobooks. So I'm just starting to create a grid here for listing out all of the blocks for 100 books. And you'll see here, I start by alternating my lines because my goal is to stagger the boxes. There's 20 lines down that I have, and I kind of wanted 10 per column. And then I kind of realized that I could just do a solid line because the sides of the boxes, there's always going to be one across. So here I'm just building the boxes, and then after that, you'll be able to see me number them 1 through 100. And you'll see there's a bit of me kind of counting and trying to figure out what to do here. Originally, I kind of wanted the edges to be staggered like the bottom on the side as well. But the way that I did the last line didn't really allow for that. So I decided to just do like solid lines across the sides and then still have it staggered on the top and the bottom. And then once all of these are numbered, you'll see I do a little legend on the side as well. So I'm going to color in based on if it's an audiobook, a physical book, or an ebook, just so I can kind of see at a glance how many I read. So for these pages here, I'm just doing my reading shelves. So essentially this is similar to the 100 books read goal on the other page. But essentially I'm just drawing in a bunch of books that I'm going to color. At the end here, you'll see I do a legend that's the same as the one on the previous page in terms of audiobooks, physical books, and kind of ebooks. So I think what I'm going to do is based on the design of the shelves, that'll be how I color code the type. So say I know I read mostly ebooks, so the ones that have that green and pink, if they're on those shelves, say that they're ebooks. And then if they're on different color shelves, maybe different types of books. And then I think what I want to do is have the actual books colored in based on genre. So I might be adding a second legend after that. These strips here, these are actually Jamberry nail strips that I've had probably for 8 or 9 years, and I've never used them. And I thought they were pretty, so I thought it could be a fun use to have them as the shelves here. And they actually worked pretty good. So I've got a bunch of different designs, and I'm using mainly the 2 smallest sizes in terms of the thickness. I did have the larger ones as well, but I just didn't want to cut any if I didn't need to. So you'll see that I have about 4 designs here across that I do kind of stagger as I'm going throughout my design. And so that's what I'm thinking I'm going to use for my key, like I said, for the type of book in terms of what type of media it is. And then I'll probably do like the actual felt pen legend as well, which I'll add after. So you'll see that I'm counting quite a bit here. So my original plan was, because my goal is 100 books, to have 50 books on each page. And then as I got later into kind of drawing these shelves, I realized that I actually just wanted to have more than 100, just in case I do exceed my goal, that I'm still able to have space pre-populated here. So I didn't wind up counting my final amount, but I did, I think, 3 or 4 shelves beyond the 100 target that I originally had. I think from here forward, these are just extra books that I'm adding just in case, because right now, the past couple months, I've been probably listening to about 15 books a month. So right now I'm definitely in a season where I'm listening to a lot, and I will have months where I listen to less, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I had a few extra shelves here. So one of my personal goals is to read through my physical book collection. I've got a bookshelf full of books that I did save from my storage unit. I got rid of a bunch of my stuff in October. But all of the books that I kept, I really want to read, and my goal is to create an actual physical TBR spread here. So I am going to add all of the books to that. And then what I'm going to do is actually add in like printing out the pictures of the covers. So that's what I'll be using for this spread. Okay, so this is the final flip through of what I've created for my overall section. So I've got my page here with my name and just a few really pretty stickers. And then this is my cover page for the reading journal. As I mentioned earlier in the video, once I get some kind of more journaling papers and stickers and things like that, I will probably add to some of these spreads. And these are just all of the pages I went through. I am feeling like the page looks a little bit empty, so I'm going to, like I said, get some supplies, but also see what else I might want to do just to increase the pages. And as I mentioned, I'm going to add like the shelf designs in those little circles, but I'll probably do that once I start to read. Here is my physical TBR, so that is just going through my bookcase. I have this weekly favorite spread, so I'm going to each week declare a favorite, and then my plan is to kind of build that up to like the monthly and then ultimately the yearly favorite. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to print the covers of the books, and then I'll probably add boxes once I know the exact sizing and all of that. So you'll see that probably in my next video with my reading journal. That's the plan for that one, and then just figuring out exactly how to lay it out so I can do that little kind of competition grid there as well, and seeing if I can fit it all on this page or if I'll need to add potentially more pages, just with what I'm trying to envision with the purpose of this one. I did also add an author log, so some of these pages my camera died, so it didn't film and I didn't realize. But this is basically just a space where I'm going to keep track of authors that I know I'm really enjoying their books. I've discovered a few recently, and I just want to be able to go back through and see, do they have other books that I want to read, and also keep an eye on potentially some new releases that they might have, and really just kind of find which authors resonate with me and have all of it in one space. And then what I'm going to do is, because like I mentioned, this is my first one, I'm going to leave a few pages just in case I want to add more. And I have decided that I'm going to have my actual reading log each month of what I read and what the rating is within the monthly sections rather than the yearly one. And so I don't know what else I might want to add to the yearly, but I am going to be safe and just leave a few blank spaces, just in case I see any other kind of setups that I really like in terms of spreads. So that's my plan. Leave a few blank pages and then get into my monthly spreads. And then once I do my January setup, I'll go back and show the updated pages here, just so you can see in terms of printing the covers and what books I have and all of that, just because I think that's kind of fun to see. So that's how we're looking. That's the final result. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you could give it a like if you did enjoy it. If you haven't already subscribed and you're still here, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell because I am uploading a video every day for Vlogmas. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day ahead.